Wonderful. Okay, so welcome everybody to our first instructor marketing orientation. We are a small community nonprofit, and the only reason why we're here is because of you. And what I am finding my third year here as director is a lot of classes that are really wonderful are being canceled due to low enrollment. And that is really disappointing to me. And I'm sure it's discouraging to people that are ready to teach, and also to people who are ready to learn, that have registered, but the minimum enrollment has not been met. So this is an opportunity to give this work back to you and to do this together in a meaningful and intentional way. Some classes just naturally have interest. When I think about our sushi making class, I ate a lot of sushi. Ayumi was amazing. Her classes are always full. I don't think she does a lot of marketing. She may, but I don't think she does. Sometimes that just happens in the community. But more often than not, if we are not an active participant in marketing our community class, it may or may not fly. UFM is in a place of transition where, you know, a lot of people that were involved in UFM from its genesis are now retired, and they are older adults. So there is still a very strong following of baby boomers. I love me some baby boomers. My parents are baby boomers, like wonderful instructors, amazing work ethic, and baby boomers just keep coming back. We also have got to engage other audiences, particularly those that are youth, teens, people in their 20s and 30s. We start to see a rise in interest when people are in their mid-30s, particularly women in their mid-30s and up, and then also older adults. But the thing is UFM, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, UFM is a place where we do lifespan development learning. So there should really be something for everyone, wherever they are in their life, because we're a place where everyone can teach and everyone can learn. I don't think I'm going to bore anybody with this story. Maybe Dawson already knows it, but the first UFM class that I ever taught, I was 9 years old, and I taught corn husk doll making in the solar edition. And I had quite a following. I went to local grocers and I got corn husks. And I wanted to teach the ways that Kansans and settlers learned from indigenous people. So that was really important to me. And to make a corn husk doll is harder than you think. And I taught it many times. But when I think about that experience, I told everybody I knew. I told the people at the community garden that I had a little garden plot too when I was 9. So all the gardeners around me, they knew, and I invited them. All my little friends on my street at 803 Pierre Street, I told them about my corn husk dolls. And we had older, well, they were older to me at that time. They're not old now. We had adults attend, we had youth attend, we had families attend. And so I was excited about it, and then other people got excited about it too. So if you have decided to teach, it's because you have a skill that you consider valuable, that you think people are going to want to learn about. And you need to find those people in your network and be intentional about inviting them. And you may then develop a following. And, like some people do, and that's really exciting when that happens. So what's going to happen today is I hope that some of the things that I'm going to talk to you about, just the fundamentals, will take you a little bit outside of your comfort zone. I think that's really important. If you're not feeling a little bit outside your comfort zone, then we're not really hitting the mark, because growth only happens when you feel a little bit uncomfortable. If it's just kind of like, okay, I'm going to teach a class and see who shows up, that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for, how can I put myself out there and really like flaunt the skills that I have in a way to make this meaningful, and so that you don't teach just this semester, but you continue to teach for semesters and semesters to come. So the first thing I want to do before we get into just kind of the nitty gritty, and then we're going to workshop. We're going to workshop some of your classes today. Is I'd like everybody to just briefly introduce themselves and make sure that if you're here in person, you have opened the catalog to your class, so you can be kind of thinking about, yours is online. That's right. Yeah. And then if you're online, if you want to go into your class in the digital catalog, just so you can have it in front of you and double check everything, that would be great. But let's just take a moment, and if you can say just in a few sentences who you are, what class you teach, and what you came to learn today. So just very brief. And let's start online. Could we start with Angela, perhaps?
Sure. Thanks for having this online option because I'm not feeling 100%. But so I'm Angela Dirtschi, and this is my first time attempting to teach a class, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I am a local real estate agent, and so my class is just on the basics of the process of buying or selling a house, just to kind of get just a like real estate 101. And that's not the title, but I was trying to pull up the catalog and I didn't pull it up fast enough to get you the exact title, but that's the gist of it.
Awesome. Okay, so there is a particular population of people that we can tap into in Manhattan and the surrounding area that are looking at buying a house for the first time. So I want you to be thinking about the pools and where you could go to look for those folks. Okay, Lauren, next. It could be next.
Yes, hi. Thank you. Like Angela said about having this online makes it easy. My name is Lauren, and I'm teaching three different classes this semester. So one is called Good Mood Foods. I'm a dietitian, so they're all kind of food and health related. And then the second one is Women's Health and Hormones, and then the third one is Meal Ideas for Busy Families.
Cool. So your classes align very nicely with K-State Extension and Family and Consumer Sciences. There's a Family and Consumer Science agent in every county in Kansas. I'm actually an extension professional, and
Okay.
your classes could serve as a pipeline to extension programs. So
Okay.
we want a reciprocal relationship with K-State Extension that we partner
Mhm.
with. And so there are so many community members that want to learn how to be healthier. And we could refer people to them after they teach, after you teach your class to them, or they could refer people to us. So that's one contact right now that we can think
For
of.
sure.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just Oh, I don't think you heard me. Jessica, can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes, I could. Sorry, you cut out there for a second. I'm Jessica Long. I'm from Wamego, and I've lived here my whole life, and I am going to be teaching two classes, also first-time instructor. So twist, braid, and slay, the art of hair braiding. I've been a cosmetologist for almost 15 years. So, or I guess it is 15 years now that we're in January. And then I'm also going to be teaching transformations in color, the basics of face painting. I have been a face painter for a couple of years as well, in addition to owning my own salon. So
when I want to give everybody just a little tidbit if I can, since we won't be able to get to everyone today. I also want to encourage you to reach out to me and or Jake Huber, and we can do a one-on-one with you, a one-on-one consult to help you market your class. Jessica, when I think about the two classes that you are teaching, I think big, like I think inviting a softball team to do that as a team building activity. I think about having parents, I'm not going to just say moms, I'm going to say parents and their kids learn how to braid hair or do face painting. And so since it's so universal what you're teaching and it's so recreational and so fun and also is community building, I would think big and go out and actually not do individuals, but actually look at sports teams, potentially, maybe preschools, and maybe offer this and ask them to come and do it as a whole group activity. And then you'll just have your class, like enrollment will be off the charts. So we can talk more about that, but I think that, and you could target Walmigo, you could target Manhattan, because it's just a short ride from Manhattan to Walmigo.
Yeah, there's actually a very large gymnastics studio just a couple miles down the road. So as soon as you said that, that was the first thing that I thought of. So
awesome. And again, we're going to propose a reciprocal relationship where we are a pipeline to other recreational programs. We are collaborative, not competitive. So if a gymnastics studio starts to highlight your class and a group of young people want to go and do this, we're going to then promote that gymnastics studio in the community as well. And so, we want to make sure they know that this is very much collaborative and community building. It's not just all about UFM. When we support other businesses and organizations, we partake in economic development and we help the whole community be stronger. So that would be my first idea there. Is it Daniel Fike, Mr. Fike? I can't remember your first name. I just see D Fike. Oh, there we
There
go.
we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's Dennis Fike.
Oh, Dennis, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's problem. No problem. Yeah, my wife and I are kind of second career grape growers and winemakers. And so we're doing a class, first time teachers, going to do a class called From Grape to Glass, the art of home winemaking. It's going to be kind of a combination of home winemaking and small commercial scale, which is where we're at right now. We're in our third year of winemaking, and we're open up here by Westmoreland on the Flush Road, and like I said, I've been doing this for about 3 years, so we're fairly new at it too, but willing to share what we've learned and help others get started in winemaking, whether they do that as a hobby or want to get into it on a larger scale.
So I think since your business is so new, there are so many opportunities for development there and getting the word out. I feel like I'd love to have a workshop just for businesses that are new, that have opened within the first like 1 to 5 years, because you're developing your marketing strategy right now. And what is wonderful about your class is this is about making wine. We have another class that's about tasting different types of wine. So we did that intentionally so there isn't any competition, even though we may still be tasting some wine when we go and make some wine with you guys.
You
But
bet.
so I think the biggest hurdle to overcome is letting people know that you're there, right? And people already know about you because I've been poking around and checking, but we want to get you out on social media. We'd love to have you come and do the podcast with Jake and Dawson, because I don't believe you have already. So that's another way. So more traditional ways of just marketing your class since you're new would probably work best because you're trying to get your name out there and you probably haven't tried a ton of things yet because it's only been the first few years in business. Am I right?
Yes. Most of our marketing has been through our Facebook site and just relying on word of mouth. But
well, that's definitely a great way to start because there's already a lot of positive feedback in the community about what you guys do, and it's unique. We haven't offered this before. So okay, let's see. Andrea, would you like to go next?
Yes. Hi. I'm trying to get my video to work. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great.
All right. Yeah. It's a new computer and I don't know, I think I did something with the privacy settings on the camera and now I can't get it to work. So I'll have to figure that out later. But I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a holistic health coach. I'm not really doing that for work. I kind of do that on the side. I have a small business. I make hair products. And kind of, I really do coaching for free. So I thought this would be a good place for me to kind of get out there a little bit. I've been doing the hair products for about 13 years, and I've been a cosmetologist for about 15 years. And I'm trying to find my class. Okay, so I'm doing two classes. The first one is Self-Love Studio. It's like a Valentine's paint and tea. So it'll be kind of like going like the holistic approach where the tea will be calming and the painting is like, kind of a calming therapy. So, and it'll be for, couples or for individuals who want something to do on Valentine's Day. And then I have a detangling class because I've had a lot of customers ask me about what do I do with my kids' hair? How do I detangle? And so I'll go through some techniques so that people can learn how to detangle and offer them some products and different ideas for how to do that. And I'll also get some of my products along with the class. And that's pretty much it.
So you have one class that's coming up because it's centered around a holiday. So it's good that you're meeting today with us because you're going to be following those different steps that we're going to be talking about like right now to be able to get people signed up for Valentine's Day, I'm assuming.
Yes, perfect.
Wonderful. Adriana. You want to unmute?
I got one, but not the other. Okay, sorry. Good afternoon. I am teaching ESL for adult learners, Spanish speaking specifically. I know there are other classes that offer to whatever background language that they have, but mine will be focused on Spanish speakers. This is my third, I lost count, I'm sorry, time teaching at UFM. And I don't know what else.
What do you hope to learn today?
Oh, well, I don't know what I don't know, so anything. I'm always open to learn anything.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. That makes my job easy then. The hard below. Then I can exceed your expectations. We have wanted to connect with a lot of the restaurants here. They have reached out to us. I think we've talked about this when you interned for UFM. So Yami's is one. Now I think Manhattan Area Technical College ended up doing a program for Yami's employees. But again, there are a lot of people here in Manhattan that have immigrated and they are Spanish speaking and they are everywhere. And so tapping into a business or a church and having a warm lead with somebody who can really promote you. Also, there's a bilingual bicultural 4-H club that I'm a part of here. So a lot of times, these are very insular communities and they kind of stay within their own community and then connect with each other. And you could be a trusted source for English language learning. But I would not try on the individual level. This is very similar as with the other person that I talked to. You need to look at big picture, inviting a whole team of people, or inviting a congregation, going on Sunday and offering to work with them, or talking to the Spanish minister at $7. So I would definitely tap into. I would say K-State maybe because there are a lot of student groups like Halo, but their parents and families might not necessarily be located in Manhattan. So that might be kind of a hit or miss. But I would think big and go organization wide, or get a warm lead through somebody that's already connected to people here. There's a large immigrant population from Durango, Mexico, and Chihuahua. So we can talk more about that, but I would start there at more of a macro level, and find ways to connect and build rapport and trust that way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is it Vishali?
Yes, hello, that's right. Vaishali Sharda. This is my, I believe, fifth or sixth year teaching cooking classes at UFM. I have taught Indian cooking classes. Started I think 2018 summer, and the class was a great hit. And then I've been offering classes since. My class this spring semester is Indian street food. And I'm going to be teaching three different popular Indian street food recipes.
So I feel like your classes tend to be pretty well attended. Is that true, or have you had cancellations or less students than you normally do?
I had to cancel classes in mostly during fall. I feel like spring and summer classes are well attended, and fall classes typically are smaller, and I don't meet my minimum number of students to offer a class, and that's why I have to cancel them, which I feel really bad about because people who had registered and wanted to take the class are unable to take it. So
That is disappointing. What I was thinking for your classes, since they do tend to be well attended, I still feel like we can push the envelope further and see how we can maximize like full participation in your classes. There are a lot of sororities and fraternities that have dollars to spend for team building and professional development. A lot of historically like minority sorority and fraternities also typically like to have cultural experiences and expand kind of their understanding of culturally different and unique foods. And so what I would do is I would find a connection, if you don't have one already, potentially through UFM. We have even staff here that are advisors for sororities and fraternities, connected to the Black Student Union, connected to a Hispanic sorority as well, and see if you can personally invite that sorority or fraternity to attend your class, or maybe have members of a brother fraternity and sorority do some type of event that happens to land on your class day. So since you typically have good participation, it's surprising to hear that unfortunately it didn't fly this fall, but that happens sometimes. Sometimes it's hit or miss. I think if we can reduce the hit or miss by making a personal invitation to a group of people that would really value learning how to cook Indian, instead of going out, which, there are wonderful Indian restaurants here, but they also can be quite pricey. And so why not learn how to do it at home, right?
I agree. And I would really appreciate if you could connect me to some of those groups and I can reach out.
So that's where the UFM team comes in. If you email me and Jake and make that request, we will work on helping connect you with the resources we have.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, Terry, have you gone yet? You have.
No, I have not gone. I am Terry Pearson. I started last fall was the first time I offered classes, and I ended up with 0 attendance, which is okay. It's a way to start and get advertisement. I recently retired, and so I have been working on a 5-year journey on health and nutrition. So I am offering 3 classes this spring. They are related to a glucose stability challenge, a 40-day fast challenge, and a 40-day feast challenge. And where this comes in is, like I said, my journey has been I support women with faith-based coaching, evidence-based nutrition, and worship-filled movement so that they can steward their health through peace, strength, and purpose. So it's really hitting the whole person, as I've already heard a couple other people being nutritionists and also being holistic health coaching. I'm a certified live well health coach as well. I've been certified in precision nutrition, and I'm also a certified menopause coaching specialist. And I think women need to really care for themselves, not in their 20s only, but in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. So as we get older, we're able to embrace those ages of 70 and 80 and still be very vibrant.
Oh, that's really exciting. And I have a couple quick pieces of feedback. The first one is you have a very vast skill set, and your primary audience is women. I think that you're going to want to think about when you tap into the community, what population you really want to target, because it can kind of feel like a needle in a haystack if we have such a vast skill set. Well, who do we contact and why? When I heard you say the glucose challenge, that's for everyone, I believe.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So K-State Extension offers a Dining with Diabetes series. I've already talked to them about your glucose challenge.
Okay.
And actually using that class as a pipeline to Dining with Diabetes. So that is a very narrow, I'm going to mark it to Extension. I'm going to set up a meeting with Megan Duarte, who is the Family and Consumer Science agent who helps facilitate Dining with Diabetes. And I'm going to see if I can develop some type of reciprocal partnership opportunity there. So I think that having a vast skill set and only working with women is a blessing, but it can also set you back because there's so many audiences that you could be targeting. I would really narrow your search this spring and form relationships with specific people that can bring those populations to your class. That's just one example, and that would be Riley County Extension.
Okay. And as I've advertised with UFM, the 3 classes I'm offering is very diverse. It just happens to be I have certifications in those other areas, and I have a tendency to work with more women than men. But the classes themselves are open to no gender. So it's no gender specific, so which is really nice.
One thing I would also spin is you may want to offer a class just for women and women's health this summer or fall, and kind of see what kind of response you get, because sometimes we just have to throw things up on a wall, see what sticks, and see who our following is going to be. And
absolutely.
So I'm really excited to see what will happen next with your classes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Carrie, we have Carrie, Liddy, and Rachel, and I'm going to ask you guys to just keep it to just a few sentences because we need to get through the people in the room and then get to the nitty gritty. So Carrie, can you introduce yourself? Okay, Carrie might have stepped away. Well, Carrie, if you are talking, you're muted, but he may have also stepped away too. Liddy, would you like to go next? Liddy Franco? Oh, Carrie's on. Okay. Awesome.
I will keep it short, and I'm participating mainly by listening today because I am driving. I have parked to introduce myself. So I'm Carrie Chappell. I have taught community-based ESL classes at UFM off and on for several semesters before relocating to Metro Atlanta. I'm still a graduate student in the online program at K-State, And what I'm offering this semester for anybody who is interested in it is an online version of what we wanted to offer earlier and weren't able to drum up any interest, which is basic training for those who wish to volunteer to help an adult learn English, either with a small group or one-on-one with any organization that they might be doing this with, a church, a nonprofit, or completely on their own. And we don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but if they come, I will build it. And that's my story for today.
Wonderful. So you are preparing volunteers, community volunteers, to be able to teach English in their homes, communities, churches. So I would definitely tap into your networks when it comes to what you just noted, organization-wise. For example, churches, and I would start, you can still tap into Manhattan because you lived here for many years, and you can also tap into your local community and get to know your community there. But it sounds like this needs to be organizations that are already giving back to the community and have volunteers ready to go. I would also suggest Pastor Kayla Simmons Wood, who is a pastor on Points Avenue, and also Pastor Isabel from the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Both churches have a social justice kind of undergirding in their vision for their organization, and they do a lot of community work. I would reach out to both of those people and see if they're a community volunteer.
That's a great idea, and I intend to do that. I think that's primarily where most of the emphasis will be. I am, though, willing to work with people one-on-one if they desire to learn more. The person I would be working with in that type of a situation would be someone who has a friend, a neighbor, someone they know from church who is struggling to communicate in English, and they want to help but may not know exactly where to start. I think that I can help get them started, and that's what I would add. But for the most part, yeah, I think you're right about where that would come from.
It's a wonderful idea. I really like it. Rachel, you are the last person on Zoom. There you go.
Basketball game, so I apologize. First of all, you're all awesome, and I'll sign up for all your classes. And I am a skin and makeup artist, and so I'm doing beauty inside and out for tweens. I think that's such a important age to help people believe in themselves, especially girls, and how they believe in themselves and how they treat each other. And there's just like a lot of mismarketing with that age, and they kind of think they need all these complex beauty products and routines. And so it's just really getting down to the nitty gritty in skin, makeup, and just who they are, and that it's really who you are from the inside that matters.
So we have a teen mentoring program, and we are constantly looking for ways to engage the youth with community instructors. We may even have some grant funding to pay for your class so that the teens can attend. So I would get in touch with Miss Pamela Green-Neely. That's Pamela, Pamela at tryufm.org, and see if she can take a group of her teens or tweens to your class.
Fabulous.
Okay, let's go ahead. This is exciting. Let's go ahead and go around the room and just briefly introduce yourself, the class you're teaching, and what you'd like to gain today. Dawson.
Yeah, I can start us off. My name is Dawson Wagner. I'm Assistant Director for Wildcat Electronic Media at K-State. I'm an instructor, part of podcasting, audio production, and video production on campus through the A.Q. Miller School. And I also host the Little Apple Locals podcast with Jake, where we talk about all these awesome classes and are able to help promote them a little bit at the end. But we always like to have people on to talk about them too. So that's always an avenue that we can discuss in a little bit. So along the vein of podcasting, I thought it'd be a great opportunity. And Jake talked to me about starting a podcaster's toolkit class, where I'll be teaching one session on February 6th about how to start a podcast, the basics of how to edit it together, reaching out to guests, and really coordinating and setting up a Spotify podcast like we did for the Little Apple Locals. So super excited to hear about all the other classes, and we'll talk some more about opportunities to be able to reach out soon.
Is there a way to market this through the A.Q. Miller School?
There are people we can talk to in the A.Q. Miller School about, partnerships and cross promotion. But when it comes to a podcast, so we already have a comm mediators podcast that's actually part of the school, that we can talk about, different things on in relation to maybe, are you talking about specifically like the podcasting class or? Yeah, possibly. I'm definitely going to be telling my students about it. So I already have like 40 to 50 students in my classes enrolled for audio production and video production. And so in those classes, I already do intend to promote this and be able to hopefully have them enroll in it.
Nice. I know that there's a lot of synergy between leadership studies and the A.Q. Miller School. I'm a graduate of the PhD program with leadership studies, and I feel like there's so many ways that students, faculty, and staff could disseminate knowledge with the land grant mission in mind by learning how to do a podcast. Like, after doing the podcast with you and seeing just how skilled you are, like it made me actually think about that. Like, wow, could this be another way to share about marriage and family therapy, which is my craft, or, and so it just sounds like it gives you the building blocks, and you're very approachable. So I wonder if we could use our K-State channels, and UFM could help you in other ways through like the student listserv, social media, and then also our contacts, to be able to just send out some information. And then also you're personally inviting people, which is, I think, a really powerful tool and the most powerful tool of all. There's just there's like a hidden job market because of how you're connected to K-State in the community that I'd love to tap into to get your class full.
Yeah, that'd be really exciting to be able to have as many students or, of all types of backgrounds to be involved in the class. And it's really just a basic skill set. So if anybody in here is interested about, taking or figuring out their own podcast that they want to start individually around the thing that you're interested in, there's definitely opportunity to be able to learn how to, set it up on Spotify. And I'll be walking through that in this 2-hour session. So,
because I think a lot of people have things that they want to talk about and share, but the technicalities of all of that and how to set it up, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm free podcast,
Free podcast.
I am. I'm a child
post podcast. Yeah.
Free podcast. So how do you make a podcast?
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, that's pretty cool. I think you could balance the personal invitation and then just K-State community channels that we have to connect.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, if everybody's familiar with radio. And so there's a lot of that background in being able to be a radio host and talking like in that traditional format. That is why podcasting exists today. And it's a lot of the same principles and being able to just be engaging and, know how to tell a story and keep moving it along. So
that's really cool.
So yeah, super excited to help promote it. And we can talk more about others who might want to come on the Little Apple Locals podcast here in a little bit.
Neil.
Yes.
Tell us about your class.
So I teach veteran wellness, your health, your journey, and I teach the world of whiskey. So veteran wellness is through the VA of Eastern Kansas, and it is kind of a holistic self-assessment for veterans to go through, and it's a introduction to whole health, and then we plug them in hopefully with the VA of Eastern Kansas, and the whole health class also gets them a scholarship to attend other UFM courses, as long as those courses do not contain tobacco or alcohol.
Ironically.
And so I
And take your class.
cannot have someone take my other class, the World of Whiskey.
So tell us about attendance in these classes, because you fly these classes every semester.
Yes, the VA whole health class has had, I'd say on average 2 people per class. We have had to cancel some of them. And then the World of Whiskey has had average 2 people a class. I've had some classes that have had 4 people. And then on the World of Whiskey side, the surprising thing to me is the number of women that sign up for it. Everybody would assume that the masculine thing is the guys will go out and drink whiskey.
Right.
But yeah, the number of women that have signed up for the World of Whiskey, and then, you know, picked out a peated Scotch as their favorite whiskey of the class, that I did not see coming.
So, and is this tasting or making or what?
It is just tasting, and then I try to go through a history of whiskey, and then also geography, current events with it, references to pop culture. Even.
Cool.
And so
can you, so first of all, we are having a very hard time recruiting veterans, which is really surprising, because if they go through Neil's class, they get a $200 scholarship to take UFM class, with the exception of what you just listed. So we're going to need to do some focus groups this spring and understand how, you know, maybe go to the VA of Eastern Kansas and figure out how we can engage the veterans, because they're also having trouble engaging veterans. And, you know, if I were a veteran, which I am not, I did not serve, but for those who did, it's like $200 for an hour. Come on, let's go. Let's do this. Hey. So anyway, where the World of Whiskey, I think we need to set the goal. What's your maximum attendance?
I have 14 currently.
14 is the maximum. Yeah. So I think we need to bring that up to 7. I think if you typically have 2, then you need to invite 10 people to your class, because then maybe 5 of them will come.
Right.
Because there are a ton of whiskey enthusiasts out there, and potentially, you know, connoisseurs, who knows? I don't know if you can partner with a local, you know, restaurant, or, you know, someone who has, or a pipeline to people that really can appreciate what you're teaching, because it's like the whole thing. It's not just tasting, it's the culture, it's the history. You know, maybe you could post, and we could make you a flyer and use our marketing personnel here and post in a couple local businesses. But people don't know enough about UFM, what we do, and particularly your class, which sounds wonderful. I'm not a whiskey drinker, even though I do like hard liquor, but not whiskey. Yet. I'm like more of a Schlivovitz. So, but I'm not a whiskey drinker yet, Neil. And I think that we need to find those pockets in Manhattan where we can help others promote your class and balance that with personal invitation. Your class should be full. It's whiskey, and you're talking about some pretty cool stuff. So let us help you with that. I think one thing that's coming up, a theme that's coming up here, is we can do more together if you let us know how we can help you. That goes for everyone here. So if you have an ask, could you connect me to some local fraternities and sororities? Give me a name so I can reach out. So it's a warm lead. Let's get together and brainstorm what that looks like. That's what we're here for. We're not just here to market your class online and create this beautiful catalog and find you and say, hey, you should go. We're also here to brainstorm with you and maximize class enrollment. And that's something that I think we all have in common here. It's a common purpose and goal. So if you make a specific request to us, we need to be fulfilling that request. That's our job. I'm excited. We're going to get it up to at least 7. Okay, that's our goal. Next. Okay.
All right. Tracy Behrman with Cobb Valley Exterminator, and my husband and I are going into our 27th year of business. So we have seen a few things over the years. And my class is going to be Who You Gonna Call? So when the time is right, kind of explaining about pests and when it's time to call the exterminator or when you think you can handle it on your own type of thing. And so, yeah, this is my first time teaching, and I'm excited and honored, you know, to be asked to do this. So I guess I'm just here to take in whatever I can and to learn what I can in order to get people in the seats for this class.
So I have 2 ideas already. First, I want to say that your class, I believe, is community sponsored. So I feel, isn't that right? I feel like there isn't a fee to take your class.
There's not.
Okay. So that's awesome. You're still promoting and helping support UFM, but it costs nothing to go. I think that the Historical Society or any people in the area that are renovating older homes typically have more pest control issues. For example, my parents received an award because their home is from 1879. And there's critters that'll just kind of get in there every once in a while because, you know, there's just more holes in the basement and the cellar and things like that. So people that are really into home renovations or not renovations, restoration and tapping into that community. There's so many old homes here that have so much character that also have pest issues. I also think businesses. So I think UFM. I don't know what to do when there's a bat or a bird or a cockroach. And I'm just going to keep going because this building is also older. So luckily we have a pest control company that helps us, but sometimes I don't even know if I should be calling them. Can I take care of the bat? Learned I'm not supposed to take care of the bat. That's not okay. I'm glad that I learned that because that could really be a health issue. And I could also be like violating a law. So I knew nothing about both, right? I knew nothing about this. And I wish that there had been a class that I could have gone to because it can be really dicey sometimes. I feel like getting in touch with companies that might have a similar presentation, and then also older people that have older homes and maybe are connected to the Riley County Historical Society or any type of historical award. And I can't think of the entity right now, like see it in my parents' kitchen, but that you are going to have to dig to do this because people are not going to just naturally go to your class. But when we talked about building out your class, I thought it was a really valuable class to have. And that's why I supported you in publishing that. So, but I think it will be harder to fill your class than maybe Indian cooking, right? Because it's a very specific niche market, but that doesn't mean it can't be done. And that builds connections to your expertise in what you do for future reference. So I am more than happy to workshop that with you, anybody actually, but also considering that this will be a little bit more, we'll need to be a little bit more strategic about how we fill your class.
Well, like I said, we've got people calling in. This has just been for years. We've always been education. So, you know, just because someone calls in doesn't mean we're going to be going out to do a service. They're calling in with questions and we're answering those questions. And then that way they may end up coming back to us, but it's an educated decision at that point. You know, they kind of know all about what's going on and how to take care of the problem before we're even going out there.
So it's almost like you're extending like that brief consult that you have when somebody calls in. And I would even start doing that now. This semester, when somebody calls in,
that's what my brain is telling me. Yes.
Like you're giving them 5 or 10 minutes of your time. And then you're saying, we actually have a class that you can come to and learn all about this. I'd love to sign you up.
Yep. Exactly.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
Bob.
I am Bob Smith. I am a PhD graduate of Key State, former recently retired director of Fort Riley Museums, and I teach military history. And one of the things that I've always found, all of my classes though, and I've taught, I don't know how many years I've taught for, do you have any record of how many?
You know,
I've gone through 3 directors, so.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I think there's only been 4. The 5th one stayed less than a year and just didn't survive the nonprofit world. So let's just say, wow. So I thank you for your service to UFM.
One of my principal ideas that I do is all of my classes are new, and they don't get. I don't have a repeated class. I always create a new class.
I did not know.
For each class, and also with my group, we're very democratic. They vote on what they want to hear from me on a class. I give them 3 ideas. I say, I'm thinking about teaching this, teaching about this, and they vote on it. And I say, okay, majority rules when we, and then I start creating that class. And say,
For the following semester?
yes.
So you like do a poll in person? Wow.
Yes.
No
now
wonder.
I do have, God willing, if I'm doing the summer, Jay, I'm going to do them as the Marines.
Oh, he's not here today.
When I saw Jay class, I did. He said, "You got to do it on the U.S. Marines because I'm finishing up the United States Army here this semester.
Okay.
I'm also teaching the American Revolution from the British perspective because I am by training a British historian, and so we're going to talk about God Save the King and all of that. So."
Wow. So there are, you have a following. I've heard oodles of positive things about your class. No, really.
We have fun.
You have fun. And I mean, and it's just a topic that is so incredibly interesting. So there's a lot of things that are going for you. I just think I need to pull out though, that you're seeking the community voice in this, and you're actually leading with what they want. And if there are ways to do that, whatever you're learning this semester, then taking that and doing a poll, asking the students, that's such a great idea. The students that you have in the class, what do you want to learn about next? Because then guess what? They're going to come back for that. So you just kind of have built in your own internal marketing strategy. And I'm glad you brought that up because this is a reason why we need to continue to get together. I would really like to offer a follow-up at the end of the semester before the summer starts to see what did we learn, what do we still need to workshop, and how can we help? But these types of examples are wonderful. Another example I have is guitar for the hopelessly busy people, instant guitar for hopelessly busy people. We have a community instructor who sends a press release to the Manhattan Mercury, and they will fly it sometimes. And this instructor actually wanted to share this with the group, and he said, Craig Kaufman, he said, don't call them. They don't want to hear from you. They don't have time to talk. Just send them a press release. And he said it's hit or miss. Sometimes he'll get in and sometimes he won't. That is a wonderful idea. Never thought of that. I've done that with extension for UFM before. I've never done it for an actual class. So I'm hoping that we can continue to learn from each other and find other ways to connect with the community and invite them. You're inviting them by asking them what they want to hear about next.
One other thing I'll add, I've been asked to speak to different groups here, and I shamelessly promote my classes. Nice.
Yep. I think any audience you have, I think that's similar to Dawson. If you have a class and you're teaching and you're vibing with your students and you're like, hey, by the way, I'm offering a community class on this. That's another way to just get that out there.
Nikki. I'm Nikki. I'm first time teaching. I will be one half of the instructor for the ceramics classes that are going to be in the solar area. Actually have a certificate in marketing technologies, so it'll be fun to kind of see how I can apply that to fill in my classes.
And your ceramics is Mindful.
Oh yeah, it's mindful making is the beginner class, and then centered form is the intermediate class, and then the advanced class is.
What's wonderful is there's kind of something for everyone. We're going to have 8 Potter's wheels out there plus 2 instructor wheels, I believe, and we are creating a maker space out here. Manhattan does not have enough going on with art and ceramics. We are not competing with the MAC. This is a whole nother spin on doing art, and I think it's also very healing. There's a disability awareness component to it. It is just an absolute gift that we get to work with you and Pedro. That's something that we've been needing for quite a while, is a maker space out in the solar edition. So we are going to be partnering with team mentoring all semester, and so you will have teams in your classes Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they will be working on different art pieces and also connecting to your stories and learning from you. So we already got grant funding to make that happen. Tom. I know your name.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, you don't want the teacher.
Tom, tell us about your class.
My name is Tom Bowley. I teach wood turning. Turning, page 10 of my classes for this spring. 2 classes. One is turning about a 7-inch wood bowl, and the other one is turning a wood pen, ballpoint pen. So my maximum number of class students is 4, because that's all the equipment for students. But I've been teaching wood turning for over 20 years, teaching here through UFM for about 10 since we moved back home.
Wow.
So
thank you.
Yeah, I love teaching. I love teaching people things that I enjoy doing, because I want them to enjoy it too. So, that's my stick.
And you almost always have students attending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
Because it's unique.
Yeah.
I think the uniqueness interests people. Oh, wood bowl, making wood bowl. How do I do it? I'd probably have some if I taught teaching a wood hat or making a wood hat.
I would like to show. May I?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I really do want to. This is just
It's good advertising.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
So this is actually a beautiful wood hat, and look at that bark right there that Tom made. You can make one too. Which brings me to the next point, which is I want to run through what is learned in these 8 videos. I had never made videos like this before. I'm like, I'm going to do it. We need some pointers to just lead up to teaching our class. So thank you, ChatGPT, for summarizing my 8 videos for me. What would I do without ChatGPT? I'm also pre-ChatGPT. Okay, all.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
So I'm going to quickly summarize the 8 videos. I'm going to encourage you to watch each video that is released every other day during the week. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that's going to be for 2.5 weeks. And do what the video tells you to do. So I want you to set a personal goal of, Alaya just told me to make a personal invitation, and gosh darn it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it right now, shamelessly. Okay. So the thing is we need to move from just absorbing that knowledge to get into an action-oriented phase of it and set a really realistic goal for yourself. So video 1, which I've already released, is why marketing matters. And I'm just going to go through this quickly, and then you can definitely tune into the videos for the next 2.5 weeks, because I want to end today with any feedback you have for each other. And that's probably the very most important part of this that we're just getting to. So, video 1, everybody needs to know that you're teaching this class, And most people need to see or hear about the class at least 3 to 5 times before registering, and it needs to be simple for them. They need to know exactly where to go. Marketing is about inviting, not selling. And anytime you become personally involved, that's going to reduce cancellations. Okay. Video 2, the 3 things every instructor must do. You want to personally invite. So if you've heard anything important today, it's the personal invitation. Do not underestimate it. You better believe that my dust off your bread machine and come use mine class, I'm inviting all of my neighbor women friends. We meet once a month and we do some type of women only kind of fun gathering. There's normally alcohol and dominoes involved. They've already learned how to do bread making in a bread machine for free because I invited them over to my house in December and we made a really nice cranberry walnut bread. But they were like, what else is there to learn? And I said, well, come take my class. So will I be inviting them over to do more bread making at my home? No, I will not. They will be coming to UFM if they want to learn how to make challah in a bread machine, okay? You want to post about your class in 1 or 2 places consistently and share more than once because reminders matter. So I would encourage you to post in person at your business, at other people, at friends' businesses, anybody that's going to promote you, and online. So when you hear me say post, I'm also talking about in person as well. You need to have a 30-second commercial about your class. And it's not just, I teach photography. I'm going to be teaching a photography class. It's going to actually involve the learning outcomes. You're going to be able to talk about what that community member is going to get out of it. Like, you're going to learn about the rule of thirds. You're going to be able to take and showcase a beautiful landscape picture by the end of this. So it's really about that learning outcome, which actually elevates your class and legitimizes it because you are involved in community-based education, and that is research-based. Every class has a learning outcome. You need to tell the community what that is. What problem does it solve? What will people gain, and how do they sign up? Use Facebook and local groups effectively. Look for those hobby groups. Post on happiness. Let's be shameless about this, okay? Keep the tone human and welcoming. You never really want to make it feel like a promotion or a sale, okay? And use beginner-friendly language that will attract more participants. Remembering all these videos, it's much more outlined. I'm just giving you the quick and dirty version. Next, video 5, emailing and texting people you know. I would definitely not do a group text. I would do individual texting, but copy and paste it. You know, they don't know that. Just copy and paste it and use their name and follow up with them. But make sure it's somebody like a warmly, like, you know, this person, we've been wanting to get together anyway. My class isn't going to cost them an arm and a leg. And then we can spend time together and they can learn a skill and we can connect because everybody's so busy, right? So messages don't need to be formal or long, and a simple invitation works best. Then you have a 2-week marketing timeline. 2 weeks before, announce the class and send personal invites. 1 week before, post again and follow up directly. And 3 days before, share a last chance reminder. And if you want, ask us to post online. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you want us to post on social media, we have over 400 classes we offer every semester. Email Jake and or me, and we'll make it happen, okay? Here are some common marketing mistakes to avoid. Posting only once, waiting until the last week, using technical or insider language, and this is my favorite one, assuming that UFM will do all of your marketing for you. Hands-free here. We will help you, and we will definitely respond to any requests you have and fulfill those requests to the best of our ability, but it is your responsibility to market your class. And I think that's one reason why we've been having cancellations, is I think there might be a misperception that we do marketing, but I can't personally invite anyone to your class because it's your class. Okay, so finally, I think that we just need to make small, steady steps together. And this is a micro step towards full enrollment, right? This should not be the last time that we connect through this group or one-on-one. We want to continue to hear from you. We want to hear what your experience has been. And we don't want to take up your time in a way that it's not valuable to you. So I really hope that our time together today has really helped you and you have more of a focus and just intention behind how to get your class out there. Because we want UFM and we want you all to be able to teach for the next 50 years. And we can't really do that if there isn't more intention behind marketing the classes and having better enrollment opportunities. We can't survive the technical age when a lot of this is about human relationships, showing up in person, or a hybrid learning. Yes, there's online, but UFM has a very unique flavor in what we offer, and that can be lost if we aren't intentional about the way we connect with the community. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this up to, I'm sure there were just synapses flying everywhere when we were talking and connecting and I was giving some feedback. I would love anybody that has an idea, a lead, a way to help your fellow instructors to let this be like the first conversation you have with each other. And then I will even provide kind of an email list so you can continue to connect and help each other. Maybe you'll even take some of the classes that have been introduced today. I know I am. There's going to be a lot of alcohol in my future, just a lot. Because Neil had it at you're not a whiskey drinker yet. And you know, there was a lot of confidence there. So I might just try it out. So let's just open it up. And that also goes for online if you want to raise your hand or unmute. But what thoughts do you have about marketing your own class and how you can help others who have spoken today market theirs?
I've got a thought about keeping your students once they sign up and you tell me who they are and give me their email addresses. I write to them immediately. Let them know, yes, you're signed up for the class. I have your name, your information. Here's kind of an idea of what we'll be doing. And it's really fun.
So they are going to be less likely to play.
Yes.
That is such a good idea.
I try to reach out to the students and say, hey, because some people have been drinking whiskey for years and they know what they like, and like, what can I teach them if they, are not a introduction to whiskey level person.
Gotcha. Okay, that's really good. Wow, because then it's like they've already shown interest, they've paid, but people cancel. And so, or they forget. So you've made this personal connection and fortified it.
Yes, that forget's a big deal too. So, a couple of days ahead, I'll just send out another email as a reminder.
That's excellent. Thank you.
And Neil, we might be able to collaborate. I'm working right now on developing a wood whiskey glass that is charred on the inside. And I think there may be some connection.
Ceramic one too. I see a party. Liddy online, who I've known for over a decade, and I worked with teaching English in the College of Ed. I believe that's Liddy Franco. Go ahead, Liddy. Have to unmute.
Is that a raised hand?
Yes, it is. Let me see if I can.
Oh, it was the cursor.
Yeah.
Yes, the cursor.
Oh my gosh, look. Okay, that was never mind. Okay. What's next? What are some other thoughts that come to mind?
Does UFM ever have people reach out and ask for classes? Just because,
suggestions?
yeah, well, that or you bring up the fraternities and sororities.
Mhm.
If a fraternity wanted to host a UFM course, i.e. the World of Whiskey or whoever else's course, is that something that UFM can coordinate on?
Yes, we actually have. The reason why I know that sororities and fraternities do that is they've reached out to us before and have asked, could we have a cooking class? Could we have somebody come in and teach self-defense? Like we would, and it's so helpful to already have an instructor to plug in that already has their rates and everything, because it just is a matter of connecting and then getting that on the calendar as opposed to starting from scratch. So yes,
Okay.
We would love to work more with sororities and fraternities.
Can't imagine a fraternity being any interested in whiskey at all.
The sororities like.
Good.
What other things came to mind as you were listening to people talk about their class? It could be, wow, I didn't know that even existed, and that seems really interesting or fun, or maybe a tip or trick for people, or maybe something that you're thinking about for your class that's new. What other ideas do we have?
I know just because I promote my own business often. If you're going to do a video, I would definitely recommend kind of creating a wireframe or like a script before you start recording. Because if you kind of collect your thoughts before you hit record, it makes the video go a lot more smoother and you feel a lot more confident when you post it. Because I know one of the things that I plan on doing is doing kind of like because speed throwing is a nice little nostalgic thing that people like to watch. So I have so many videos of me just throwing. And so I can use that content, that evergreen content, to highlight what you can learn in a beginner class, what you're going to learn in an intermediate class, and what you're going to learn in my advanced classes. And I can have those 30-second videos where it's like, hey, like this, sign up for my class.
So I love that idea. And
I do little things. That's how I plan my commercials.
I would like to offer that if you don't have the time or the skill set to make a 30-second or minute video about your class, we have 2 student assistants. One is a marketing communications minor. The other one is a program assistant and actually will be gathering footage from classes and instructors and then making videos. So the videos that I made, I used InShot, which is an app on my phone that gave me captions and royalty-free music. And I used a teleprompter and a tripod selfie stick. And so if you don't, it is time consuming and it's not for everyone. My husband's a videographer. I did not really have the time to do that, but I just found time on Sunday. We can actually help you do that. You could come into UFM or we could meet on Zoom and help you record that. I do not know how to edit, so all of mine are one and done. So, but Maurice does know how to edit. So again, you could send us an email and say, I would like to make a 45-second video about my class and be able to fly it on your YouTube channel and on social media. Can you help me? And the answer would be, yes, we can. Or we can show you how to do it yourself. Because I know how to do that. I just don't know how to edit. That's fine. It has to be a one and done or it's not going to work. So that's a really good idea. I think videos are engaging. It brings people in. It tells a story. And we also are going to have Gavin come into your classes and actually take photos and videos so that we can show people for next time, for the summer, for the fall, this is what it would be like to take the world of whiskey, or to take a history class, or to do wood turning. I would say, sorry, that's wrong. Turning, wood turning, or learning about pest control, or doing a podcast, or doing ceramics, like all of those things, right? We want to bring people to you. Do we have any thoughts or feedback online? I'd love to hear from a couple people online. I don't want us to monopolize the conversation because we're in person. Online is equally important. Oh, Jessica, did you want to share it all?
My daughter actually texted me and I was just swiping the little message bubble away. But I guess it put on the spot. I did hear, at least a couple other people that mentioned that they were also licensed stylists, and were teaching classes that, while different from mine, were still in that vein. And I would love to touch base with those people because I have 2 Facebook pages that are affiliated with my salon or face painting business, and we can advertise for each other. Because it's not, I'm not teaching a class on detangling, I'm teaching a class on braiding, but I do have, 15 years of following for face paint or for hairstyling. So why not do some reciprocal advertising? So anybody who had, something that was kind of in the same vein, I would love to touch base with you because we can help each other out. So
I think that is such a wonderful idea. And it just, it also exemplifies the collaborative nature of UFM, that this is the way we want to interface with each other. And when you were talking, you just reminded me of something. Have you signed up for the Flint Hills Discovery Fest in May, at the beginning of May?
Yes, I have. Yep. I did that one last year and I will be there again this year. So.
Okay. So my kids are going to get face painted by you.
Okay.
And we have 2 tables, UFM, and then my kids have a 3D art business called Dealsman Creations, 3D art for any occasion. 9,000 people went through that event last year. It's incredible. Yeah. And there's a lot of demoing. So it's only $50 to have a table. That's amazing. I mean, what you get out of it. So I highly encourage people to either demo at the UFM table. Tell me if you'd like to demo and talk about your class, or get your own table. That's also an option. Thanks you really spoke well on the spot, Jessica. After swipe. Wow, I like it.
Just to do another version of guerrilla marketing, I have UFM materials on the back of the headrest because I do Lyft driving. And so I have the podcast that I did with Dawson, and then another piece of material for the whole health course on the back of the headrest.
That explains why that's our most listened to podcast episode then. Because it is. There's over 250 people that have listened to that episode. Yeah.
Wow. That is
the back of your headrest in your car.
So, well, you look.
It works.
Us military veterans should do 3 things: start a clothing company, start a coffee brewery, or start podcasting.
Yeah. Podcasting, right?
So we have another little fun thing for you. So these are UFM instructor cards, and you can hand them out to people and invite them personally to attend your class. You do. You do. This legitimizes it, right? I mean, you have one, but
I used to hand out my government cards, but since I'm no longer.
My day job.
And we have more. At UFM, you are welcome to stop by. What's really fun is you have the instructor name, the class information on one side, and then on the other side is the QR code that takes the student right to tryufm.org to register for your class. Isn't that nifty? Love it. So just another way to market. Any last kind of thoughts, pieces of encouragement or ideas for each other that we maybe haven't covered yet?
If I may.
Please.
I think the short commercials, and one of the things that I think is responsible for my folks keep coming back is give the little unknown stories, which they will remember rather than the dates that I throw out and things like that. if I can offer an example, do a 45-second commercial, something, and I'd be willing to do that is, tell them a little story. Did you know Napoleon was attacked by an army of rabbits? And there's a little story behind that.
That's
And, if you want to find out more, please, come to such X class. But there's so many different little tidbits I put in, because I've always told my students, my listeners, you may not remember these dates and things, but you'll remember this story I tell you. It's sort of a human interest story to kind of they can find relevance to.
Yeah, and I think when we find our story, then we find connection and we can build community that way. I love that so much. If you didn't know, we have expanded. That is why the UFM catalog is so thick. I think Jake used the word robust on the podcast. I love that word. It is robust. We have expanded to Pot County, Geary County, Clay County. We are actively working with Junction City, Area Chamber, Manhattan, and Walmego. And we are actually now partnering with 8 different Northeastern K-State Extension units to bring you community classes in the Northeastern region. But we need people to attend those classes. So definitely open up the UFM catalog and take a look. I would like to propose that we try this and that we take kind of a leap of faith and try some new things this semester. And we get back together. I'm thinking probably May. I think May would probably be good because most of the classes will be done by then before the summer starts. And then kind of look at what does the summer look like in the fall. I would love to hear your stories about what has worked, what hasn't. There's no right or wrong, and there's really there's no failure here. We're just trying to try things differently than we've tried before to get some different outcomes, because we want you to continue to teach for a long time and for UFM to stick around, and that requires more community engagement than what we are having right now. So how does May sound to loop back around and meet again? Does that sound okay? Well, most of you have taught at least a class or two by then. Okay.
Well, but probably either the first or the latter part of May.
First or latter because of graduations and.
I will be in Canada.
Oh, you will be in Canada. Okay. So the very first. Okay. Well, I would rather do it early on before graduation and all that. And people leave. Some people leave for the summer because end of May we'll be going right into.
That's doable.
Okay. Let's do beginning of May, maybe a similar day. I know this was very haphazard. I really appreciate everyone joining. And please do not hesitate to reach out if you would like to continue to workshop ideas or just check in and let us know how you're doing. Huh? Oh, I thought you were. So thank you so much again. And we will see you all soon. I will send out emails of everyone that attended so that we can continue to stay in contact. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.